Hello everybody, I'm Bizreviewer, and I understand it's been a minute. I just been really busy like the last year or so doing more important stuff on my channel, so I'm finally back, and to make it up to you guys, I'm going to do a review that I had been planning to do for a long time, and that was Fairly Odd Parents, and I feel this show really needs no introduction. It's one of the most popular shows Nickelodeon ever aired. I mean, obviously SpongeBob's more successful than it, but it aired for a good long time, and it's a bit infamous for its seasonal rot. Season 10 of this show in particular is one of the worst seasons of any show I've seen. So, yeah, we're reviewing it out season 10 episode, but which one do I pick? Well, to be completely honest with you, I just picked a random one. There's no need to go excessively searching because, well, every episode in season 10 is bad. So, you can just pick a random one and, yeah, talk about that one because they all share similar problems. Yeah, that's the level we're talking right now. So today we're going to be talking about the episode FairyCon, which is about Timmy and Chloe going up to FairyCon. So, yeah, let's go and get into that.
Nothing could possibly ruin this moment. Timmy!
Well, aren't we off to a friggin' fantastic start? We're not even 10 friggin' seconds into this episode, and Chloe's already yelling something, and we have our first and then the opposite happen joke. For those of you who don't watch the Alpha J show, that is when basically a character says something, and then the opposite happens. It's pretty self-explanatory. But Lord, can we just acknowledge this real quick so I don't have to mention it through the review? Chloe is just such a bad character. Her entire personality is just yelling at stuff. Yelling at everything. In fact, I don't think she talks normally throughout most of the episode. I think she mostly yells. I gotta stop this rant though because we got an episode to watch.
Exactly! It's in keeping with the theme of my panel. Worst fairy godparent ever! I have a reputation to live down to, Timmy!
Wow. Honestly, I'm impressed. This is the fastest the show's gotten to getting me angry like this. I mean, wow, you completely misunderstood Cosmo's character, Butch. If you want to know what I mean, Cosmo in the early seasons, yeah, he wasn't smart, but like he always tried to help Timmy. Him bragging about being the worst fairy makes it seem like it's intentional. Gee, where have I seen something like this before?
SpongeBob, you can't always expect my usual brand of stupidity. I like to mix it up. Keep you on your toes.
You know, Cosmo and Patrick are actually a lot alike. They both have had the same kind of flanderizations happen to them. The difference is the SpongeBob writers actually got to work on actually fixing Patrick, whereas Cosmo never really got better.
Hi, Timmy. Hi, Chloe. Hi, weird kids with wings. Time to fix the fridge.
I gotta stop getting distracted here, but you know what? We're not even gonna talk about that. There's too many things later in the episode that if I just keep nitpicking every single moment, we're gonna be here forever. So, we're just gonna kind of move on to the main plot here. So they get to FairyCon, and Chloe gets her ticket stolen by Mr. Crocker's cloned fairies. And of course, her response to this is to yell at the top of her lungs. My favorite.
Where's my ticket? I can't find my ticket! You're making me sad! Stop talking, Olivia!
How about you shut up because you're the most annoying character on this freaking... I said I wasn't going to get sidetracked, so let's talk about an actual problem here. The pacing. Now, I've called out pacing on certain shows before, but this one is one of the weird ones, and it's both too rushed and too slow. So there's so many scenes in this episode that just don't need to happen, and that's how it gets to feel too slow. There's just too much filler. But when they do get to the plot-relevant moments, it's so crazy rushed. Like, everything just happens way too quick. And because of this, it's a really weirdly paced one. I haven't seen a show like this in a long time. where it's too inconsistent. If something's too fast, that's one thing. If it's too slow, that's another. But when it's like this, it makes it actually like harder to get through just because it just keeps getting too slow and then too fast. You get bored during the slow parts and you have trouble understanding during the fast parts of how things connect. And it doesn't help that a lot of this stuff doesn't connect, but oh, Lord.
Stay cool like me. Berries! Sorry, as I was saying, berries, berries, berries! Sorry. Anywho, time to use my crocker pot so I can capture all the berries.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Cosmo is not the only character that's been flanderized. In fact, most of the cast has. For example, as you saw there, Crocker's a broken record about fairies. It's all he ever talks about now. It's the only joke they do with him, and it's the only personality trait he has at this point. Timmy's dad is now just stupid. And Wanda is now just a nag. You get the idea. None of the characters have any of the depth they used to, and don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting Fairly Odd Parents to have insane character depth. I'm not expecting that. But what I am expecting is for the characters to make sense, for them to have at least a little bit of character and not just be this one note. Alright, I'm going to skip to the climax though, because we could talk about this forever, and I really don't want to waste my life on that. So the climax is Mr. Crocker was decided to try to suck all the fairies up, or at least suck their wands in. And thanks to Cosmo's sheer incompetence, it's an easy job. Because literally every episode of Fairly Odd Parents now has to have the fairies lose their wand at some point, because they're not creative enough to find any other way to create conflict. And to be fair, I mean, I kind of understand when you have fairies that can literally wish for anything, it's fairly easy to undo a conflict. But, I mean, old Fairly Odd Parents solved this problem fairly easily. It's just, I don't understand where the problem is with the new one. Why they can't do it.
Oh, excited! And sweaty! And excited! Still getting sucked into a hole in the wall!
Anyway, so Chloe saves the day. They get their wands back and they make Crocker forget everything. And that's how the episode ends. Ugh. I'm be honest, this was a hard one to sit through. Not for any, like, overly excessive reason, just because it's really bad. Like, Lord, it's bad. And what makes it worse is it's a show that I used to really like. But with that said, I'm going to be done with this one because I don't want to talk about Fairly Odd Parents any longer than I have to. I hope you guys enjoyed this premiere of Season 3. I've got more videos coming. I'll try to release them fairly frequently, but we'll see how that works out. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, I hope you guys have a good day.